everyone, welcome to Bible Reading with Ariel. Today we are reading Proverbs chapter 23. When you sit to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are a man given to appetite. Do not be desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Do not labor to be rich, cease from your own wisdom. Will you set your eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Do not eat the bread of him that has an evil eye, neither desire his dainty meats. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, says he to you, but his heart is not with you. The morsel which you have eaten you will vomit up, and lose your sweet words. Do not speak in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Do not remove the old landmark, and do not enter into the fields of the fatherless. For their Redeemer is mighty, he shall plead their cause with you. Apply your heart to instruction, and your ears to the words of knowledge. Do not withhold correction from the child, for if you beat him with the rod, he shall not die. You shall beat him with the rod, and shall deliver his soul from hell. My son, if your heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine. Yea, my reins shall rejoice, when your lips speak right things. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but be in you the fear of the Lord all the day long. For surely there is an end, and your expectation shall not be cut off. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. Do not be among winebibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Listen to your father that begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and do not sell it, also wisdom and instruction and understanding. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begets a wise child shall have joy of him. Your father and your mother shall be glad, and she that bore you shall rejoice. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lies in wait as for a prey, and increases the transgressors among men. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has babbling? Who has wounds without a cause? Who has redness of eyes? They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. Do not look upon the wine when it is red, when it gives his color in the cup, when it moves itself aright. At the last it bites like a serpent and stings like an adder. Your eyes shall behold strange women, and your heart shall utter perverse things. Yea, you shall be as he that lies down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lies upon the top of a mast. They have stricken me, you shall say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again. So in going back and rereading some of these verses, I'm going to be focusing on the latter end of this chapter. So verse 27 and 28 says, For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lies in wait as for a prey, and increases the transgressors among men. So again, keeping in mind that this is, the wise King Solomon speaking to his son. And we see throughout the Proverbs that he speaks of dangerous women. And it's commonly seen as, this is representing sin. That, the sin being anything that is evil and against God's will. But not only that, it's things that are enticing, things that are tempting, things that draw us away from him. And these verses about the dangerous woman are directly followed by the example of drunkenness, and how it seems fun, and the drink is so alluring, look at its color. And our culture really emphasizes this and, even looks down on people who don't drink at all. I have people who have been annoyed with me because I said, no, I didn't want alcohol. But drunkenness is just destructive. And, the last line of this chapter is very key because, it speaks to actual alcoholism. So I want to go back and reread verses 29 to 35. It says, who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has babbling? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of eyes? They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. Do not look upon the wine when it is red, when it gives his color in the cup. When it moves itself aright, at the last it bites like a serpent and stings like an adder. Your eyes shall behold strange women, and your heart shall utter perverse things. Yea, you shall be as he that lies down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lies upon the top of a mast. They have stricken me, you shall say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will see it yet again. So when I first read this in the Proverbs, I was kind of, baffled that drunkenness is written out so plainly. And so, personally, I stay away from alcohol because I know it's a slippery slope. As someone who has had alcohol before, who has been drunk before, who's experienced the party scene, and then has also experienced the goodness of God. My vote is, God's way truly is the better way. That's my experience. That's the experience of a lot of people who have, come out of that and, have now encountered the love of God and have realized that it's so destructive. So again, personally, I don't even drink it. I don't even put myself in that situation. I want to end by reading a couple more verses. Verse 12 says, apply your heart to instruction and your ears to the words of knowledge. 17 says, do not let your heart envy sinners, but be in you the fear of the Lord all the day long. And I just want to pause at 17 where it says, do not let your heart envy sinners. This is, again, making me think of, what the end of the verse talks about with drunkenness and, what pops in my head is the party scene, that it seems like it's, really fun and, they're having a great time. But when really it's destructive and it's sinful behavior. So it's saying here, don't envy them because their way is leading to, just hurt of themselves and possibly others. And they don't even realize it. And it's something that, we need to be praying for them, that their eyes would be open to this. It's important that we listen to the rest of these verses that talk about, acknowledging God, acknowledging his way. So in 19, it says, hear my son and be wise and guard your heart in the way. So the way of God. And then in 26, it says, my son, give me your heart and let your eyes observe my ways. So focusing on the things of God, and the more that we focus on the things of God, the more, we end up loving God, and the less we are envying, those things that lead to destruction. And we're just clinging to those good things, those godly things. And so we see again through these verses, the theme of the heart. And I think that 26 is just so powerful, where it says, my son, give me your heart. And that's what I believe God's, number one desire is that we would give him our hearts. So I hope you are encouraged, and that is Proverbs chapter 23. Have a great day, everyone.